Leave it. Okay. Well, it's night 2 of our engine install here, and I hope I got all that first footage into one video. It might be part 3, we'll see. But anyway, now we're working on the driveline here, and so here's the torque tube, and the slave cylinder is a little questionable. It has some miles on it and some abuse, so we're gonna pop that off. Got a brand new factory GM one here to put on, and then we're gonna get this kind of assembled torque tube onto the transmission, and we're gonna try to put this up in one piece, the whole basic drivetrain here. So we'll see how it goes. Might be kind of a joke, but it'll be interesting either way. So we'll get at it. Well, we got the torque tube mounted up here. Basically, it went in real easy at first, but then it kind of just stopped, and we assume that's basically the pilot bearing, so we just mashed her in there now. But we did basically use the bolts to kind of pull it in the last little bit, and so it's bottomed out, looking good. And then we also took, there's a little harness, you can see it's laying on top of the torque tube there. We actually put that back into those little, there's like these little hanger clips on the side of the torque tube. One's right there in the middle of the screen. It's gonna focus, maybe. There it is. So anyway, got those set up. And now we're gonna try and probably put the rest of the drivetrain up. So yeah, it worked out okay. So with that throwout bearing came a new O-ring, so that actually goes on the end of the portion that's connected to the car. So that's something you won't want to miss. That's where that goes. So we're gonna quick hook that up. It comes pre-bled, so we think we're good there. And actually, the old one had a little, ooh, we're way spun around here. Had a little hose that kicks out right here. For bleeding, I think that is. But anyway, we just didn't use that because when we undid it, it pooped out a bunch of fluid, so we just left this one the way it is. So anyway, we're gonna hook up the slave right now. Well, we just had Matt, he was up in the car testing out the new clutch that was put in, so we got the slave hooked up, of course, and everything. But before we continued, we wanted to actually check that. And so got inside here, and then we went up. He went up in the lift, and then I was underneath spinning the torque tube, the drive shaft basically. And yeah, he was testing the clutch, and the first pump of the clutch was like dead. It was like, you know, like no brakes, limp, goes to the floor, right? Well, anyway, went down, came back, did it a few times, and probably within 10 or so cycles, it feels great. So. And it works good. We actually were spinning it underneath to verify that it actually is engaging, of course, because the engine's off. So yeah, that is a good sign, and will be a nice improvement for this car as far as drivability or just comfort. So anyway, now we'll probably move on to the big pieces. Well, we got kind of positioned here. Torque tube's up, and that was fine. And then, of course, the engine really only has 2 mounts. That's the motor mounts. So it is basically leaning back right now with this torque tube just kind of dangling off the back of it, which that's fine because basically the back of the head kind of touches the firewall is basically what's going on in a sort of way. So that gets our angle back here. So we have to match the torque tube angle right here with this drivetrain section. And so First we put the shifter linkage, that's got to go up through that passage and then up to the shifter. And then we decided not to use a trans jack here just because it's so large, so we're actually going to bring the car down to it, and this little blue deal can go up and down, so that'll change our angle. And then it's all, of course, on wheels, so we'll just push it ahead when the time comes. So we're going to try this out. It might go well, might not, but it would be nice to put this all up in one piece instead of separating the transmission from the rear end, from the subframe, and all this mess. It would be best to just put this all up, if we could, in one shot. So we're going to try and do that now. All right, with a little persuasion, we've closed this gap. So we're gonna put some bolts in it and suck it up for real, and let our assortment of jacks and buckets and everything else down here, and we'll be ready to swing the rear subframe up. That hole goes to that pin. So that feels good. Okay, so with the movie magic there, we just basically rose the whole rear subframe up, and got those 4 bolts, one there and one tucked behind the harness right there. Got that one, 2 on each side. So anyway, now we don't have the lift kit action going on, and we can get off of this cart here and in the air and button everything up, so that's exciting. We're up, and everything's at least kind of in its place now. So now we have to just kind of do all the connectors and all the weird stuff. I think we're going to kind of do more of a front to back methodology here, as far as might work on the front suspension and those types of things, and just kind of work our way through. So okay, so we did a bunch of work on the engine here, and now we're ready to start finishing up some of the stuff on the bottom here. We got a bunch of harnesses hanging down and things like that. So what we couldn't get up top, we're gonna now try and do from the bottom. Well, we've been plugging away here on this. We got the power steering up, the alternator up, the coil packs on, the plug wires in, all the harnessing around the outside and back and bottom of that starter. Big achievement there. That one really sucks. So kind of next things we're going to do is we just have left the intake manifold, the fuel rail, I guess one coil section over here, and then the radiator and fan stuff. So we're getting there, real close, but starting to get crowded, so that's good. Alright, so we spent a little time here and got the engine all dressed out. This should be pretty much ready to go up top here. It's filled with coolant. Battery is a little questionable. It's been sitting for a minute, but other than that, this should all be real close to done here. So now we're going to lift up, get underneath, and do the exhaust. The rear end is still, it's up there, but it's not, none of the A-arms or anything are bolted in. So we're going to start working underneath again. Well, we got the exhaust put in and the belly pan and the rest of that done kind of on the underneath. There was the rear O2 sensors we put in, and then also the wideband for the car. That was in the mid pipe, I guess you'd call it. So anyway, now we're just going to quick button up this suspension still just sitting here, and we're going to get that dialed, put the brakes back together, and then we'll be real close. Okay, suspension's all set into place. We got the upper arm in. We got the shock cross bolt right there down. E-brake, wheel speed sensor, brake line, calipers back on. So that's looking really good. So that's done on both sides, of course. And so now we are real close. We're gonna go do like a kind of a wire check, because we're gonna fire it up and well, assume it fires up and run it and see what happens as far as oil pressure and everything and coolant. And if everything is good, then we'll run it and try and give it its first heat cycle. So what we don't want to do is have to interrupt that because something's starting on fire, and we don't really want to start anything on fire in general. So we're gonna do a little check over and see everything's looking good. Alright, well, we just got out from underneath the car and wearing the same clothes we've been wearing for 2 days here. And ready to fire it up, but you're gonna have to tune into the next video because I think I already have way too much footage. So anyway, we'll see if it starts. Tune in.